Welcome to Self-Respect, the bedrock of all virtues, a transformative guide to cultivating the most essential quality for a fulfilling life. This book is for you if you've ever struggled with valuing yourself, setting healthy boundaries, or making choices that align with your deepest values. Whether you're a young adult navigating the challenges of early adulthood, a seasoned professional seeking greater fulfillment, or simply a human being yearning for a more profound sense of purpose and self-love, this book offers a roadmap to your most authentic, empowered self. Published by Out of His Stories Self-Respect, The Bedrock of All Virtues is more than just a self-help book. It's a bold invitation to claim your inherent worth and live a life of profound integrity, authenticity, and joy. As you turn these pages, you'll discover the critical differences between self-respect and self-esteem and why one is essential for lasting happiness. The surprising ways low self-respect manifests in your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Practical tools for setting boundaries, communicating your needs, and making self-honoring choices. Strategies for cultivating self-awareness, self-compassion, and self-acceptance. The transformative power of self-respect in relationships, work, and personal growth. And so much more. With Harper's expert guidance and Audify Stories' commitment to empowering readers' self-respect, The Bedrock of All Virtues is a must-read for anyone seeking to build an unbreakable foundation of self-love and self-worth. Chapter 1. Understanding Self-Respect. Welcome to the first step in your journey toward a life filled with self-respect. In this chapter, we'll explore what self-respect truly means, how it differs from self-esteem, and why it's absolutely crucial for your overall well-being and happiness. Buckle up because we're about to embark on a wild ride of self-discovery and personal growth. Defining self-respect, more than just a buzzword. Self-respect is often thrown around as a trendy term, but what does it really mean? At its core, self-respect is about valuing yourself and treating yourself with the same kindness, compassion, and understanding that you would extend to a dear friend. It's about setting healthy boundaries, making choices that align with your values, and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. But here's the kicker: self-respect isn't about being perfect or always feeling good about yourself. It's about accepting your flaws and weaknesses while still recognizing your inherent worth as a human being. It's about learning from your mistakes and using them as stepping stones to become the best version of yourself. Self-respect vs. self-esteem, what's the difference? You might wonder, isn't self-respect just another way of saying self-esteem? While the two concepts are related, they're not the same. Self-esteem refers to how you feel about yourself, your abilities, and your worth. It's that warm, fuzzy feeling when you ace a test, receive a compliment, or achieve a goal. Self-esteem can fluctuate based on external factors and validation from others. On the other hand, self-respect is a deep-seated belief in one's own worth that remains constant, regardless of one's successes or failures. It's an unwavering commitment to treating oneself with dignity and respect, even when life gets tough. Think of it this way: self-esteem is like the weather, constantly changing based on external conditions. Self-respect is like the foundation of a house, providing stability and support no matter what storms may come. The perks of self-respect, why it's worth cultivating. Now that we've clarified what self-respect is and isn't, let's talk about why it's so important. Building self-respect can transform your life in countless ways, such as increase confidence and resilience. When you respect yourself, you trust your judgment and abilities. You're more likely to take risks, pursue your dreams, and bounce back from setbacks. Healthier relationships. Self-respect helps you set clear boundaries and communicate your needs effectively. You're less likely to tolerate mistreatment or settle for unfulfilling relationships. Improve decision-making. With self-respect, you make choices that align with your values and long-term goals rather than seeking short-term gratification or approval from others. Greater happiness and fulfillment. When you treat yourself with kindness and respect, you create a foundation of inner peace and contentment that radiates into all areas of your life. The dark side of low self-respect, when the struggle is real. On the flip side, lacking self-respect can have some pretty gnarly consequences. If you constantly put yourself down, neglect your own needs, or allow others to walk all over you, you might experience chronic people-pleasing. You're so focused on gaining approval and avoiding rejection that you sacrifice your wants and needs. Toxic relationships. You attract and tolerate partners, friends, or family members who mistreat or undervalue you. Self-sabotage. You subconsciously undermine your success and happiness because you don't believe you deserve good things. Poor mental health. Low self-respect often goes hand in hand with anxiety, depression, and other mental health challenges. If any of these sound painfully familiar, don't worry. Recognizing the problem is the first step toward building a healthier, more respectful relationship with yourself. Self-respect vs. selfishness, the ultimate plot twist. Some people worry that focusing on self-respect will make them selfish or narcissistic. Surprise twist, that's not the case. Here's the deal. Self-respect is about honoring your needs while also considering the needs of others. It's about setting healthy boundaries, saying no when appropriate, and being willing to compromise and support loved ones when needed. Selfishness, on the other hand, is about prioritizing your wants and needs above all else, even if it means hurting or disregarding others. It's about feeling entitled to special treatment or exemptions from the rules that everyone else follows. Self-respect is about treating yourself and others with equal dignity and compassion, while selfishness is about putting yourself on a pedestal at the expense of everyone else. There is a huge difference. Self-awareness, the ultimate bestie when it comes to self-respect. How do you actually go about building self-respect? The answer lies in self-awareness, my friend. Self-awareness is about deepening one's understanding of one's thoughts, feelings, values, strengths, and weaknesses. It's about being honest with oneself, even when it's uncomfortable, and using that knowledge to make positive changes in one's life. Here are some tips for cultivating self-awareness and self-respect. Practice mindfulness, pay attention to your thoughts and emotions without judgment. Notice patterns and triggers that influence your behavior. Reflect on your values. What's truly important to you? What kind of person do you want to be? Use your values as a compass to guide your actions and decisions. Celebrate your strengths, acknowledge and appreciate the unique qualities and abilities that make you awesome. Use them to pursue your passions and positively impact the world. Embrace your imperfections. Nobody's perfect, and that's okay. Accept your flaws and mistakes as opportunities for growth and learning. Set boundaries, know your limits, and communicate them clearly to others. Don't be afraid to say no to requests or situations compromising your well being or values. Practice self care. Treat yourself with kindness and prioritize activities that nourish your mind, body, and soul. Remember, taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. The bottom line on understanding self respect. We've covered a lot of ground in this chapter. Let's recap the key takeaways. Self-respect is about valuing and treating yourself with kindness and compassion, even when facing challenges or imperfections. Self-respect differs from self-esteem in that it's a stable, unconditional sense of worth rather than a fleeting feeling based on external validation. Cultivating self-respect can increase confidence, healthier relationships, better decision-making, and overall happiness and fulfillment. Lacking self-respect can result in chronic people-pleasing, toxic relationships, self-sabotage, and poor mental health. Self-respect is not the same as selfishness. It's about honoring your own needs while also considering the needs of others, whereas selfishness is about prioritizing your own wants at the expense of everyone else. Self-awareness is critical to building self-respect. By practicing mindfulness, reflecting on your values, celebrating your strengths, embracing your imperfections, setting boundaries, and practicing self-care, you can develop a deeper, more loving relationship with yourself. Chapter 2: Origins of Self-Respect. Buckle up, folks, because we're about to take a wild ride through the fascinating world of the origins of self-respect. In this chapter, we'll explore the complex interplay of factors that shape our sense of self-worth. From the genetic blueprints we inherit to the childhood experiences that mold our minds. Get ready to uncover some mind-blowing insights and aha moments that will forever change how you think about self-respect. Genetics and personality, the nature of self-respect. First, let's discuss the role of genetics in shaping self-respect. While the idea of a self-respect gene might sound like something out of a sci-fi novel, research suggests that our DNA does play a part in our overall sense of self-worth. Studies have found that certain personality traits, such as emotional stability, extroversion, and conscientiousness, are heavily influenced by genetic factors. These traits, in turn, can impact our ability to develop and maintain healthy self-respect. For example, individuals with a genetic predisposition toward emotional stability may be better equipped to weather life's challenges and maintain a steady sense of self-worth. even adversity. On the flip side, those with a genetic tendency toward neuroticism may struggle with self-doubt and negative self-talk, making it harder to cultivate a robust sense of self-respect. But before you start blaming your parents for your self-respect struggles, remember that genetics are just one piece of the puzzle. Our genes may set the stage, but our experiences and choices ultimately determine how the play unfolds. Childhood experiences, the nurture of self-respect. Next, let's examine the powerful role of childhood experiences in shaping self-respect. From the moment we enter this world, we're bombarded with messages about our worth, value, and place in society. These early experiences lay the foundation for our sense of self and can profoundly impact our ability to cultivate self-respect later in life. One of the most crucial factors in developing self-respect is the quality of our early attachments. When children receive consistent, responsive care from their primary caregivers, they create a secure attachment style and a deep trust in themselves and others. This secure base allows them to explore the world confidently, take risks, and bounce back from setbacks, all essential components of self-respect. On the other hand, children who experience neglect, abuse, or inconsistent care may develop an insecure attachment style, leading to a host of self-respect struggles. They may grow up believing they're unworthy of love and respect, struggle to trust their judgment, and engage in self-sabotaging behaviors that reinforce their negative self-image. But it's not just our early attachments that shape our self-respect. Our childhood experiences of success and failure also play a crucial role. When children are encouraged to take on challenges, learn from their mistakes, and celebrate their achievements, they develop a growth mindset and a resilient sense of self-worth. They learn that their value isn't tied to their performance, but rather to their inherent worth as human beings. Conversely, children who are constantly criticized, compared to others, or pressured to be perfect may develop a fixed mindset and fragile self-esteem. They may believe their worth is contingent on external validation and struggle to bounce back from failures or setbacks. By understanding how these early experiences impact our sense of self, we can begin to heal old wounds, rewrite limiting beliefs, and cultivate a more authentic, enduring sense of self-respect. Parenting styles, the architects of self-respect. Last but certainly not least, let's talk about the role of parenting styles in shaping self-respect. As the primary architects of our early experiences, our parents or primary caregivers play a crucial role in laying the foundation for our sense of self-worth. Research has identified four main parenting styles, each with its own unique impact on self-respect development. Authoritative parenting, this style, characterized by high warmth and high expectations, is associated with the healthiest outcomes for self-respect. Authoritative parents set clear boundaries and expectations while providing love, support, and encouragement. Children raised in this environment tend to develop a secure sense of self, strong problem-solving skills, and a healthy balance of independence and interdependence. Authoritarian parenting, on the other end of the spectrum, authoritarian parents are high on expectations but low on warmth. They may use punishment, shame, or fear to control their children's behavior, leaving little room for autonomy or self-expression. Children raised in this environment may struggle with self-doubt, perfectionism, and a constant need for external validation. Permissive parenting, permissive parents are high on warmth but low on expectations. They may indulge their children's every whim, avoid setting boundaries, and fail to provide structure or discipline. While children raised in this environment may feel loved and accepted but struggle with self-regulation, decision-making, and a sense of purpose. Uninvolved parenting. Finally, uninvolved parents are low on warmth and expectations. They may neglect their children's physical and emotional needs, provide little guidance or support, and fail to create a stable home environment. Children raised in this environment are at the highest risk for self-respect struggles, as they may internalize a deep sense of unworthiness and struggle to form healthy attachments. Of course, these parenting styles exist on a spectrum, and most parents use a mix of strategies depending on the situation. The key takeaway is that parenting styles have a profound impact on our sense of self and our ability to cultivate self-respect. By understanding how our parents' approach to caregiving shaped our early experiences, we can identify patterns, challenge limiting beliefs, and develop a more authentic, self-directed sense of self-respect. The bottom line on the origins of self-respect. That was a wild ride through the complex world of the origins of self-respect. Let's recap the key takeaways. Genetics and personality shape our overall sense of self-worth, but they're just one piece of the puzzle. Childhood experiences, especially early attachments and experiences of success and failure, lay the foundation for our sense of self and can have a profound impact on our ability to cultivate self respect later in life. Parenting styles, from authoritative to uninvolved, shape our early experiences and play a crucial role in developing self respect. But here's the good news: no matter what genetic makeup, childhood experiences, or parenting style, you have the power to cultivate a healthy, authentic sense of self respect. By understanding the origins of your self worth struggles, you can begin to rewrite your story and develop a more empowered, self directed sense of self. Chapter 3: Pillars of Self Respect. Welcome to the heart of our self respect journey, where we'll explore the three unshakable pillars that support a life of authentic, enduring self worth: integrity, authenticity, and responsibility. These pillars are the foundation upon which all other self respect strategies and practices are built, and by strengthening them, you'll create a rock solid sense of self that can weather any storm. But before we dive in, let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt like you were living a double life? Did the person you presented to the world differ from the person you were on the inside? If so, you're not alone. In a world that often rewards conformity and people pleasing, it's easy to lose sight of our true selves and compromise our values to fit in or get ahead. That's where the pillars of self respect come in. By cultivating integrity, authenticity, and responsibility, we create a life aligned with our deepest values and most authentic desires. We develop the courage to stand up for our beliefs, even when it's hard. And we take ownership of our choices and actions, knowing that we are the authors of our story. So, my dear reader, are you ready to build an unshakable foundation of self respect? Let's explore each pillar in depth. Pillar 1: Integrity, the cornerstone of self respect. First, let's talk about integrity. Integrity is often defined as doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. It's about aligning with your values and principles, even when they're hard or unpopular. It's about being honest with yourself and others, even when the truth is uncomfortable. And it's about following through on your commitments, even when you don't feel like it. But here's the thing: integrity isn't just about being a good person. It's about being true to yourself. Living with integrity creates a sense of wholeness and coherence that is essential for self respect. We know that our actions reflect our deepest beliefs and desires, and we feel a sense of pride and purpose in living an authentic and meaningful life. Conversely, compromising our integrity creates a sense of disconnection and dissonance that can erode our self respect over time. We may feel like imposters or frauds, constantly worried that others will discover the truth about who we are. We may engage in self sabotaging behaviors or make choices that are out of alignment with our values and goals. So, how can you strengthen your integrity and build a life aligned with your deepest values and most genuine desires? Here are a few strategies to try. Get clear on your values. Take some time to reflect on what matters most to you. What principles and beliefs guide your life? What qualities and characteristics do you admire in others and want to embody yourself? By clarifying your values, you create a roadmap for living a life of integrity. Practice honesty. Make a commitment to being honest with yourself and others, even when it's hard. This means being truthful about your thoughts, feelings, and actions, even when you're afraid of disappointing others or facing rejection. It also means admitting when you're wrong or have made a mistake. Follow through on your commitments. Do everything you can to fulfill a promise or obligation. This means being reliable and dependable, even when inconvenient or challenging. It also means saying no to commitments you know you can't fulfill. Align your actions with your values. Make a conscious effort to align your actions with your values and beliefs. This means making choices consistent with who you want to be and what you want to stand for. It also means being willing to stand for what you believe in, even when it's unpopular or risky. Remember, building integrity is a lifelong practice. It's not about being perfect or never making mistakes. It's about being honest with yourself and others, taking responsibility for your actions, and continuously striving to live an authentic and meaningful life. Pillar 2: Authenticity, the heartbeat of self respect. Next, let's talk about authenticity. Authenticity is about being true to yourself even when it's hard or scary. It's about embracing your unique qualities, quirks, and imperfections and showing up in the world as your full, genuine self. And it's about trusting your own instincts and intuition, even when others may doubt or question you. But here's the thing, authenticity can be challenging in a world that often rewards conformity and fitting in. Hiding or suppressing parts of ourselves that we fear will be judged or rejected can be tempting. We may wear masks or personas that make us more likable, successful, or worthy of love and respect. This approach can lead to a deep sense of disconnection and inauthenticity. When we're not being true to ourselves, we may feel like we're living someone else's life or that we're constantly performing or pretending to be someone we're not. This can erode our self respect as we start to doubt our worth and value. On the other hand, when we cultivate authenticity, we create a sense of wholeness and integration that is essential for self respect. We know that we are showing up in the world as our true, genuine selves, and we feel a sense of pride and purpose in living a life that is authentic and meaningful. So, how can you strengthen your authenticity and build a life that is true to who you really are? Here are a few strategies to try. Embrace your unique qualities. Take some time to reflect on what makes you unique and special. What are the qualities, talents, and perspectives set you apart from others? What do you love and value about yourself, even if they differ from what society tells you should be? By embracing your unique qualities, you create a sense of self acceptance and self love essential for authenticity. Trust your instincts, learn to listen to your own inner voice and trust your intuition, even when others may doubt or question you. This means being willing to take risks and make choices that feel true to who you are, even if they're not the most popular or conventional options. It also means being willing to say no to things that don't align with your values or goals. Practice self expression. Find ways to express your true self in the world, whether it's through your work, hobbies, relationships, or personal style. This means being vulnerable and sharing your thoughts, feelings, and experiences with others, even when it's scary or uncomfortable. It also means being open to feedback and criticism while staying true to yourself. Surround yourself with authentic people. Seek out relationships and communities that support and celebrate authenticity. This means surrounding yourself with people who accept and appreciate you for who you are and who encourage you to be your best, most genuine self. It also means letting go of relationships or situations that don't align with your values or authenticity. Pillar 3, responsibility, the backbone of self respect. Last but certainly not least, let's talk about responsibility. Responsibility is about taking ownership of your life and choices, even when it's hard or uncomfortable. It's about being accountable for your actions and their consequences, and being willing to learn and grow from your mistakes. It's about being proactive and self directed rather than waiting for others to solve your problems or make your decisions for you. But here's the thing, responsibility can be challenging. It can be tempting to blame others for our problems or to avoid taking action because we're afraid of failing or making the wrong choice. We may fall into a victim mentality, believing we're powerless to change our circumstances or create the life we want. This approach can lead to a deep sense of helplessness and disempowerment. When we do not take responsibility for our lives, we may feel at the mercy of external forces or other people's decisions. This can erode our self respect as we start to doubt our agency and capability. On the other hand, when we cultivate responsibility, we create a sense of empowerment and self efficacy essential for self respect. We know that we are the authors of our story and have the power to shape our lives and create the outcomes we desire. We feel a sense of pride and purpose in taking ownership of our choices and actions, even when it's hard or uncomfortable. So, how can you strengthen your responsibility and build a self directed and empowered life? Here are a few strategies to try. Take ownership of your choices. Recognize that you are the one who ultimately decides how to respond to life's challenges and opportunities. This means taking responsibility for your actions and their consequences, even when it's hard or uncomfortable. It also means being willing to learn and grow from your mistakes rather than beating yourself up or avoiding responsibility. Set goals and take action. Be proactive in creating the life you want, rather than waiting for others to do it for you. This means setting clear, achievable goals and consistently taking action toward them, even when it's hard or scary. It also means being willing to adjust your course when necessary and to celebrate your progress along the way. Practice self discipline, develop the self control and willpower to stay focused and committed to your goals, even when you don't feel like it. This means delaying gratification and making short term sacrifices for long term gain. It also means being willing to hold yourself accountable and follow through on your commitments, even when it's complicated or inconvenient. Seek support and resources. Recognize that you don't have to do everything on your own and that it's okay to ask for help when needed. This means being willing to reach out to others for guidance, advice, or resources, and to build a support system of people who believe in you and your goals. It also means being willing to take advantage of tools, resources, and opportunities that can help you grow and succeed. The interplay of integrity, authenticity, and responsibility. Now that we've explored each pillar of self respect in depth, let's consider how they work together to create a foundation of unshakable self worth. Integrity is the cornerstone of self respect. It's about being true to your values and principles and living a life aligned with your deepest beliefs and desires. When you have integrity, you create a sense of wholeness and coherence that is essential for self respect. Authenticity is the heartbeat of self respect. It's about being true to yourself and showing up as your genuine self. When you have authenticity, you create a sense of self acceptance and self love, which is essential for self respect. Responsibility is the backbone of self respect. It's about taking ownership of your life and choices and being accountable for your actions and their consequences. When you have a responsibility, you create a sense of empowerment and self efficacy, which is essential for self respect. These three pillars create a robust foundation for self respect that can weather any storm. When you have integrity, authenticity, and responsibility, you know that you are living a life that is true to who you are and what you believe in. You feel a sense of pride and purpose in being your best, most genuine self and taking ownership of your choices and actions. Of course, building and maintaining this foundation is a lifelong journey. It requires ongoing self reflection, self awareness, and a willingness to learn and grow. It also requires the courage to stand up for what you believe in, even when it's hard or unpopular. Personal ethics and self respect. Developing a solid sense of personal ethics is crucial to building and maintaining self respect. Personal ethics are the principles and values that guide one's behavior and decision making and shape one's sense of right and wrong. Having a clear and consistent set of personal ethics is essential for self respect because it helps you stay true to your values and beliefs, even when faced with difficult or complex situations. It also enables you to make choices aligned with your deepest desires and goals rather than simply going along with what others want or expect. Developing your personal ethics involves a process of self reflection and self discovery. It means taking the time to explore your values, beliefs, and priorities and consider how they shape your actions and decisions. It also means being willing to reevaluate and adjust your ethics as you learn and grow while still staying true to your core principles. Some key questions to consider when developing your personal ethics include: what are my core values and beliefs? What principles guide my behavior and decision making? How do I want to be remembered by others? What kind of person do I want to be? And what kind of life do I want to live? How can I align my actions and choices with my deepest desires and goals? By exploring these questions and developing a clear and consistent set of personal ethics, you create a robust foundation for self respect that can guide you through life's challenges and opportunities. Standing up for your beliefs. Another key aspect of building and maintaining self respect is having the courage to defend your beliefs, even when they're difficult or unpopular. Standing up for your beliefs means being willing to speak your truth and stand for what you believe in, even when others disagree or disapprove. It means avoiding rejection, criticism, or persecution to stay true to your values and principles. Of course, standing up for your beliefs doesn't mean being rigid or inflexible. It's essential to be open to new ideas and perspectives and willing to reevaluate your beliefs in light of new information or experiences. However, it means having the courage to hold fast to your core values and principles, even when difficult or unpopular. Some critical strategies for standing up for your beliefs include being transparent and confident in your values and principles, communicating your beliefs in a respectful and non judgmental way, being willing to listen to and consider other perspectives even when you disagree, seeking out support and allies who share your values and beliefs, taking action to promote and defend your beliefs even when it's challenging or risky. By cultivating the courage to stand up for your beliefs, you create a sense of integrity and authenticity essential for self respect. You know you live an authentic life based on who you are and your beliefs, even when it's hard or uncomfortable. Self reflection and accountability. Finally, building and maintaining self respect requires ongoing self reflection and accountability. Self-reflection means taking the time to examine your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors and consider how they align with your values and goals. It means being willing and honest with yourself about your strengths and weaknesses and identifying areas where you need to grow and improve. Accountability means taking responsibility for your choices and actions and being willing to learn and grow from your mistakes. It means holding yourself to high standards of integrity and authenticity and taking steps to correct course when you fall short. Some key strategies for cultivating self-reflection and accountability include setting aside regular time for self-reflection and introspection, keeping a journal or diary to track your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, seeking out feedback and guidance from trusted friends, mentors, or therapists, setting clear goals and action plans for personal growth and improvement, celebrating your successes and learning from your failures. By cultivating ongoing self reflection and accountability, you create a robust foundation for self respect that can guide you through life's ups and downs. You know that you are constantly learning and growing and have the power to shape your life and choices in ways that align with your deepest values and desires. Chapter 4: Self Respect and Mental Health. Welcome, dear reader, to the next leg of our self respect journey. In this chapter, we'll explore the powerful connection between self respect and mental health. We'll explore how cultivating self respect can transform your emotional well being, help you overcome negative self talk, and build the resilience you need to weather life's storms. But before we jump in, let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt like your worst enemy? Like the voice inside your head is constantly criticizing, doubting, or even attacking you? If so, you're not alone. In fact, negative self talk is one of the most common barriers to mental health and self respect. The good news is that you can change that inner dialogue and cultivate a more compassionate, accepting relationship with yourself. By learning to challenge negative self talk, practice self compassion, and seek support when needed, you can build a foundation of self respect that will carry you through even the most challenging times. The power of self respect for mental health and well being. First, let's talk about the incredible power of self respect for mental health and overall well being. Self respect is like a super shield against stress, anxiety, and depression. When you have a strong sense of self worth and self acceptance, you're better equipped to handle life's challenges and bounce back from setbacks. You're less likely to take things personally or let others' opinions define your worth. You're also more likely to prioritize self care and set healthy boundaries in your relationships. On the flip side, low self respect can be a significant risk factor for mental health struggles. When you constantly criticize or doubt yourself, you're more vulnerable to stress, anxiety, and depression. You may find yourself in unhealthy relationships or situations that further erode your self worth. You may neglect your own needs and well being during the process. The research backs this up. Studies have shown that people with higher levels of self respect tend to have better mental health outcomes, including lower rates of depression, anxiety, and substance abuse. They also tend to have more positive relationships, higher job satisfaction, and greater overall life satisfaction. So, how can you cultivate the kind of self respect that will support your mental health and well being? Here are a few key strategies. Practice self acceptance. Learn to accept yourself as you are, flaws and all. Recognize that everyone makes mistakes and has areas for growth, and that your worth is not defined by your achievements or failures. Set healthy boundaries. Learn to say no to things that don't align with your values or well being. Communicate your needs and limits clearly and assertively, and don't be afraid to walk away from toxic or draining situations or relationships. Prioritize self care, make time for activities that nourish your mind, body, and soul. This could include exercise, meditation, hobbies, or spending time in nature. Treat yourself with the same kindness and care you would extend to a dear friend. Seek support. Feel free to reach out for help when you need it. Whether talking to a trusted friend, joining a support group, or seeking professional counseling, having a solid support system can make all the difference in your mental health and self respect journey. Remember, building self respect is a lifelong journey, not a one time event. It requires ongoing commitment, self reflection, and a willingness to learn and grow. But the payoff is worth it: a life of greater peace, purpose, and emotional resilience. Overcoming negative self talk, the ultimate mental health hack. Let's talk about the elephant in the room: negative self talk. You know, that pesky inner critic always pointing out your flaws, doubting your abilities, and telling you you're not good enough. Yeah, that one. Negative self talk is like kryptonite for self respect and mental health. It's the ultimate joy killer, confidence crusher, and dream dasher. And the worst part, we're often our worst critics, holding ourselves to impossible standards and berating ourselves for minor mistakes. But here's the thing, you can change that inner dialogue. You can learn to recognize negative self talk for what it is, a distorted, unhelpful pattern of thinking, and replace it with more realistic, compassionate self talk. Here are some common types of negative self talk to watch out for: all or nothing thinking, seeing things in black and white terms, with no middle ground. For example, if I don't ace this test, I'm a total failure. Overgeneralization, making broad conclusions based on a single event or evidence. For example, I got rejected for that job, so I'll never find a good career. Mental filtering is focusing only on the negative aspects of a situation while ignoring the positive. For example, I made one mistake during my presentation, so the whole thing was a disaster. Disqualifying the positive, rejecting or minimizing positive experiences or feedback. For example, they only complimented my work because they felt sorry for me. Mind reading is assuming you know what others are thinking or feeling without checking it out. For example, I can tell they all think I'm weird and don't want to be friends with me. Does this sound familiar? Don't worry, we've all been there. The key is to catch yourself in the act of negative self talk and challenge those thoughts with more realistic, balanced self talk. Here are some strategies for challenging negative self talk. Reality testing: ask yourself, is this thought really true? What's the evidence for and against it? Look for alternative explanations or perspectives. Reframing: find a more positive or nuanced way of looking at the situation. For example, instead of "I'm a total failure," try "I made a mistake, but that doesn't define my worth as a person." Self compassion: treat yourself with the kindness and understanding you would extend to a dear friend. For example, instead of "I'm so stupid," try "Everyone makes mistakes sometimes. I'm doing my best and learning as I go." Gratitude: make a habit of noticing and appreciating the good things in your life, no matter how small. This can help balance out negative self talk and cultivate a more positive mindset. Remember, changing negative self talk patterns takes time and practice. Be patient with yourself and celebrate your progress along the way. And if you find yourself struggling to break free from negative self talk, don't hesitate to seek professional help. A trained therapist can provide valuable tools and support to overcome negative thought patterns and build healthier self talk habits. Self compassion and acceptance: the keys to mental health and resilience. Now, let's talk about two of the most powerful tools for building self respect and mental health: self compassion and acceptance. Self compassion is about treating yourself with the same kindness, understanding, and forgiveness you would extend to a dear friend. It's about recognizing that everyone makes mistakes, faces challenges, and has flaws, and that's okay. It's about being gentle with yourself when you're struggling and celebrating your strengths and successes. Research has shown that self compassion is a crucial predictor of mental health and well being. People who practice self compassion tend to have lower levels of depression, anxiety, and stress, and higher levels of happiness, optimism, and resilience. They also tend to have healthier relationships and more adaptive coping strategies. So, how can you cultivate more self compassion in your life? Here are a few tips. Treat yourself like a friend. When you're struggling or making a mistake, ask yourself, what would I say to a dear friend in this situation then? Extend that same compassion and understanding to yourself. Practice mindfulness. Pay attention to your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Notice when you're being self critical or harsh and gently redirect your attention to the present moment. Embrace your humanity. Remember that everyone struggles, makes mistakes, and has flaws. You're not alone in your imperfections. They're what make you human. Celebrate your strengths. Remember to notice and appreciate your unique qualities, talents, and accomplishments. Focus on what you're doing well rather than dwelling on your shortcomings. Acceptance is another critical component of self respect and mental health. It's about learning to accept yourself as you are, flaws and all. It's about letting go of the need to be perfect or to control everything and instead embracing the messiness and uncertainty of life. Of course, acceptance doesn't mean you can't strive for growth or improvement. It means you're not basing your self worth on achieving a specific outcome or living up to a particular ideal. You're worthy and deserving of love and respect, no matter what. Here are some tips for cultivating more acceptance in your life. Practice gratitude. Make a habit of noticing and appreciating the good things in your life, no matter how small. This can help shift your focus from what's lacking to what's already abundant. Let go of comparison. Remember that everyone's path is unique and there's no one right way to live. Instead of comparing yourself to others, focus on your own growth and progress. Embrace change, accept that life is constantly changing. And that's okay. Instead of resisting or fearing change, approach it with curiosity and openness. Practice self forgiveness when you make a mistake or fall short of your expectations. Practice self forgiveness. Remember that everyone stumbles sometimes and that each mistake is an opportunity for learning and growth. Therapy and counseling, a powerful tool for self respect and mental health. Let's be honest, sometimes building self respect and overcoming mental health challenges can feel like an uphill battle. No matter how much we try to practice self compassion and acceptance, we may still find ourselves struggling with negative self talk, anxiety, depression, or other emotional struggles. That's where therapy and counseling come in. Working with a trained mental health professional can be a powerful tool for building self respect, overcoming negative thought patterns, and developing healthier coping strategies. Here are just a few of the many benefits of therapy and counseling. A safe, non judgmental space, therapy provides a confidential, supportive environment where you can express your thoughts and feelings without fear of judgment or criticism. Objective feedback and guidance, a therapist can provide valuable insights and perspectives on your thought patterns, behaviors, and relationships, helping you identify areas for growth and change. Evidence-based techniques, therapists are trained in various evidence-based methods, such as cognitive behavioral therapy (CBT), that can help you challenge negative self-talk, build healthier coping strategies, and improve your overall mental health and well-being. A collaborative partnership therapy is a collaborative process in which you and your therapist work together to set goals, identify strategies for change, and monitor your progress over time. Of course, starting therapy can feel intimidating or even scary. It takes courage to be vulnerable and share your struggles with another person. But remember, seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. It's a powerful act of self respect and self care. If you're considering therapy or counseling, here are some tips for getting started. Do your research. Look for a licensed mental health professional who specializes in the areas you want to work on, such as self esteem, anxiety, or depression. You can request referrals from your doctor, insurance provider, or trusted friends and family. Check your insurance. Many insurance plans cover mental health services, so check with your provider to see what's covered under your plan. You can also look for therapists who offer sliding scale fees or low cost services. Set realistic expectations. Therapy is a process, not a quick fix. It may take time to build trust with your therapist and see progress in your mental health and self respect. Be patient with yourself and celebrate your small victories along the way. Communicate openly. Therapy works best when you're honest and open with your therapist about your thoughts, feelings, and experiences. Don't be afraid to ask questions, express concerns, or give feedback on what's working and what's not. Remember, therapy is just one tool in your self respect and mental health toolkit. It's not a replacement for the ongoing work of self reflection, self care, and personal growth, but it can be a powerful catalyst for change and a valuable source of support and guidance. Mindfulness and self awareness, the dynamic duo of mental health. Let's talk about two more superpowers in your mental health and self respect toolkit: mindfulness and self awareness. Mindfulness is fully present and engaged in the current moment without judgment or distraction. It's about tuning into your thoughts, feelings, and sensations with curiosity and acceptance rather than worrying about the past or future. Research has shown that mindfulness can have a powerful impact on mental health and well being. Regular mindfulness practice has been linked to reduced stress, anxiety, and depression, as well as increased self awareness, self compassion, and overall life satisfaction. So, how can you cultivate more mindfulness in your life? Here are a few simple strategies. Practice deep breathing. Take a few minutes each day to focus on your breath, noticing the sensation of the air moving in and out of your body. If your mind wanders, gently redirect your attention to your breath. Try a body scan, lie down, or sit comfortably and systematically focus your attention on each part of your body, from your toes to your head. Notice any sensations or tension and imagine breathing into and relaxing each area. Engage in mindful activities. Choose an activity you enjoy, such as walking, eating, or listening to music, and focus on the present moment. Notice the sights, sounds, smells, and sensations around you without judgment or distraction. Use mindfulness apps or resources. Many great mindfulness apps and resources, such as Headspace, Calm, or Insight Timer, can guide you through meditations and mindfulness practices. Self awareness is another key component of mental health and self respect. It's about developing a deep understanding of one's thoughts, feelings, values, and behaviors, and using that knowledge to make positive changes in one's life. When you're self aware, you can better recognize and challenge negative self talk, set healthy boundaries, and make choices that align with your values and goals. You're also more likely to practice self compassion and acceptance and seek support when needed. Here are some strategies for cultivating more self awareness in your life. Keep a journal, write down your thoughts, feelings, and experiences for a few minutes daily. Look for patterns or insights that can help you better understand yourself and your needs. Practice self reflection, reflect on your values, goals, and behaviors. Ask yourself questions like, what's really important to me? Or how do I want to show up in the world? Seek feedback, ask trusted friends, family members, or colleagues for honest feedback on your strengths, areas for growth, and blind spots. Be open to their insights and use them to inform your self awareness and personal growth. Engage in therapy or coaching. Working with a trained therapist or coach can provide valuable insights and tools for developing greater self awareness and making positive changes in your life. Remember, mindfulness and self awareness are ongoing practices, not one time events. They require consistent effort and a willingness to be curious, open, and non judgmental about your thoughts and experiences. But the payoff is so worth it, a life of greater self understanding, self respect, and emotional resilience. Building resilience and coping skills, the ultimate mental health superpower. Last but certainly not least, let's talk about the ultimate mental health superpower, resilience and coping skills. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity, adapt to change, and thrive in facing challenges. It's about developing the inner strength and resources to weather life's storms and emerge stronger and wiser from the other side. Research has shown that resilience is a crucial predictor of mental health and well being. More resilient people tend to have lower rates of depression, anxiety, and other mental health struggles and are better able to cope with stress, trauma, and other life challenges. So, how can you build more resilience and coping skills in your life? Here are some key strategies. Cultivate a growth mindset, embrace challenges and setbacks as opportunities for learning and growth rather than as threats to your worth or abilities. Remember that your brain is like a muscle, it can grow and change with effort and practice. Build a robust support system. Surround yourself with positive, supportive people who believe in you and your abilities. Reach out for help and support when needed, and be willing to offer the same to others. Practice self care. Make time for activities that nourish your mind, body, and soul, such as exercise, meditation, hobbies, or spending time in nature. Treat yourself with the same kindness and care you would extend to a dear friend. Develop healthy coping strategies. Find healthy ways to manage stress and emotions, such as deep breathing, journaling, or talking to a trusted friend or therapist. Avoid unhealthy coping mechanisms, such as substance abuse or self harm, that can ultimately make things worse. Cultivate a sense of purpose. Find activities or causes that give your life meaning and purpose, such as volunteering, pursuing a passion, or contributing to your community. A sense of purpose can provide powerful motivation and resilience in facing challenges. Practice gratitude. Make a habit of noticing and appreciating the good things in your life, no matter how small. Keeping a gratitude journal or sharing your appreciation with others can help cultivate a more positive, resilient mindset. Remember, building resilience and coping skills is a lifelong journey. It requires ongoing practice, self reflection, and a willingness to learn and grow from your experiences. But the payoff is worth it, a life of greater strength, adaptability, and emotional resilience. Putting it all together, a holistic approach to self respect and mental health. We've covered a lot of ground in this chapter, from the power of self respect for mental health and well being to overcoming negative self talk, cultivating self compassion and acceptance, seeking therapy and counseling, practicing mindfulness and self awareness, and building resilience and coping skills. It's a lot to take in. But here's the thing, building self respect and mental health is not about perfectionism or trying to do everything at once. It's about taking small, consistent steps towards greater self awareness, self compassion, and emotional resilience. It's about finding what works for you and your unique needs and preferences and being willing to experiment and adjust along the way. So, as we wrap up this chapter, I want to leave you with a few key takeaways and action steps. Remember that self-respect is the foundation of mental health and well-being. Cultivating a strong sense of self-worth and self-acceptance is essential for navigating life's challenges and thriving in adversity. Challenge negative self talk and cultivate self compassion and acceptance. Notice when you're being self critical or harsh and practice extending the same kindness and understanding to yourself that you would to a dear friend. Feel free to seek help and support when you need it. Whether through therapy, counseling, or reaching out to trusted friends and family, having a solid support system can make all the difference in your mental health and self respect journey. Practice mindfulness and self awareness. Tuning into your thoughts, feelings, and experiences with curiosity and non judgment can help you develop greater self understanding and emotional resilience. Build resilience and coping skills. Embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. Cultivate a robust support system. Practice self care and healthy coping strategies. And find activities that give your life meaning and purpose. So I invite you to take a deep breath, pat yourself on the back, and take one small step towards greater self respect and mental health today. Trust that you have everything you need within you to navigate this journey with courage, compassion, and resilience. And know that every step you take towards greater self love and self care is a powerful revolution in a world that often tells us to be anything but ourselves. Chapter 6: Teaching Self Respect to Children. Welcome, dear reader, to the most crucial chapter of our self respect journey, teaching self respect to the next generation. As parents, caregivers, educators, and role models, we have the incredible opportunity and responsibility to shape how our children see themselves and navigate the world around them. Teaching self respect to children is not just about boosting their self esteem or making them feel good about themselves. It's about equipping them with the tools and mindset they need to thrive in a world that would challenge them, test them, and sometimes even try to break them. It's about helping them develop the inner strength, resilience, and self love they need to weather life's storms and become stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. But let's be honest, teaching self respect to kids is not always easy, especially in a world that often sends them conflicting messages about their worth and value. From social media and advertising that promotes unrealistic beauty standards to peer pressure and bullying that can erode their sense of self, our kids face countless threats to their self respect and well being. That's where we come in. As trusted adults in their lives, we can counteract those negative influences and instill in our children a deep, unshakable sense of self respect and self love. We can model healthy self talk and self care, encourage a growth mindset and resilience, teach them to set and enforce healthy boundaries, and create a safe, supportive environment where they can express themselves freely and authentically. Modeling self respect, the most powerful teaching tool. First and foremost, let's discuss the most powerful teaching tool we have when it comes to self respect: modeling. Our children are watching us all the time, whether we realize it or not. They observe the way we talk to ourselves, treat ourselves, and navigate the challenges and opportunities of life. And they take notes. If we want our children to develop deep, authentic self respect, we must model it ourselves. We must walk the talk and show them what it looks like to treat ourselves with kindness, compassion, and unconditional love. Here are some key ways we can model self respect for our children. Practice self compassion. When we make a mistake or face a setback, do we berate ourselves and engage in negative self talk? Or do we extend ourselves the same kindness and understanding we would offer a dear friend? By practicing self compassion and treating ourselves with gentleness and forgiveness, we teach our children that it's okay to be imperfect and that their worth is not contingent on their achievements or failures. Set and enforce healthy boundaries. Do we say yes to every request or invitation, even when it compromises our needs and well being? Or do we set and enforce healthy boundaries that honor our time, energy, and values? By modeling healthy boundary setting, we teach our children that it's okay to say no, to put their own needs first, and to protect their physical, emotional, and mental well being. Engage in self care. Do we prioritize activities that nourish our mind, body, and soul, such as exercise, hobbies, or spending time in nature? Or do we constantly put ourselves last and neglect our own needs? By engaging in regular self care, we teach our children that their health and happiness matter and that taking care of themselves is a vital part of self respect. pursue our passions and purpose? Do we have hobbies, interests, or causes that light us up and give our lives meaning and purpose? Or do we go through the motions and live for others' expectations and approval? By pursuing our passions and living a life of purpose, we teach our children that their dreams and desires matter and that they have the power to create a life that aligns with their deepest values and aspirations. Remember, our children are not just listening to what we say about self respect, they're watching what we do. By modeling self respect in our lives, we give them a powerful blueprint for cultivating their unshakable sense of self worth and self love. Encouraging a growth mindset, the key to resilience and self respect. Another key strategy for teaching self respect to children is encouraging a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that our abilities, intelligence, and talents can be developed and improved through effort, learning, and perseverance. It's the opposite of a fixed mindset, which sees our abilities as static and unchangeable. Research has shown that children with a growth mindset are more resilient, adaptable, and successful in facing challenges and setbacks. They see obstacles as opportunities for learning and growth rather than threats to their self worth or abilities. They embrace mistakes as a natural part of the learning process rather than as evidence of their inadequacy or failure. So, how can we encourage a growth mindset in our children? Here are some practical tips. Praise effort and progress, not just achievement. Instead of praising our children for their successes or natural talents, we can acknowledge their hard work, persistence, and improvement. For example, instead of saying, "You're so smart," we can say, "I'm so proud of how hard you worked on that project and how much you learned in the process." Reframe mistakes and setbacks as opportunities for growth. When our children face a challenge or make a mistake, we can help them reframe it as a chance to learn and grow rather than as a failure or defeat. We can ask them questions like, "What did you learn from this experience?" or "How can you use this feedback to improve next time?" Encourage risk taking and stepping outside their comfort zone. We can create a safe, supportive environment where our children feel empowered to take risks, try new things, and step outside their comfort zone. We can celebrate their courage and willingness to face their fears, even if they fail on the first try. Model a growth mindset. As with self respect, our children are watching us for cues on approaching challenges and setbacks. By modeling a growth mindset in our lives, embracing mistakes, persisting through obstacles, and continuously learning and growing, we show them that it's possible to develop their abilities and talents through effort and dedication. By encouraging a growth mindset in our children, we help them develop the resilience, adaptability, and self respect they need to thrive in a world that will inevitably present them with challenges and setbacks. We teach them that their worth is not contingent on their achievements or failures, but on their willingness to learn, grow, and keep moving forward. Teaching boundaries, the foundation of healthy relationships and self respect. Another crucial aspect of teaching self respect to children is helping them understand and enforce healthy boundaries. Boundaries are the limits we set for ourselves and others in our relationships, whether with family, friends, or romantic partners. They define what we are and are unwilling to accept regarding behavior, treatment, and communication. Teaching children about boundaries is essential for helping them develop self respect and navigate healthy relationships throughout their lives. When children have a strong sense of their own boundaries, they're better equipped to assert their needs, protect their well being, and form relationships based on mutual respect and trust. Here are some tips for teaching boundaries to children. Help them identify their needs and values. Encourage your children to tune into their thoughts, feelings, and needs and determine what's important to them in their relationships. Ask them questions like, "What makes you feel safe and respected in a friendship?" or "What kind of behavior is not okay with you?" Teach them to communicate their boundaries clearly and assertively. Help your children practice using I statements to express their needs and limits, such as "I feel uncomfortable when you tease me like that," or "I need some alone time right now." Encourage them to be direct, specific, and respectful in their communication. Model healthy boundary setting in your relationships, as with self respect and a growth mindset. Our children are watching us for cues on navigating relationships and setting boundaries. By modeling clear, assertive communication and enforcing our limits and needs, we show them what healthy boundary setting looks like in practice. Role play different scenarios and responses. Use age appropriate examples and role playing exercises to help your children practice setting and enforcing boundaries in other situations, such as with a bossy friend or a relative who makes them uncomfortable. Help them brainstorm different ways to respond and assert their needs. Teach them it's okay to say no. Many children and adults struggle with people pleasing and fear of disappointing others. Help your children understand that it's okay to refuse requests or invitations that don't align with their needs, values, or well being. Encourage them to trust their gut and prioritize their own needs and boundaries. By teaching our children about healthy boundaries, we help them develop the self respect and relationship skills they need to thrive in all areas of their lives. We empower them to take responsibility for their well being and create relationships based on mutual respect, trust, and compassion. Developing resilience, the superpower of self respect. Resilience is another critical component of self respect that we can help our children develop. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from challenges, setbacks, and adversity and to adapt and thrive in the face of change and uncertainty. Research has shown that resilient children are likelier to have better mental health, academic success, and overall well being. They have the inner strength and resources to weather life's storms and emerge stronger and wiser from the other side. So, how can we help our children develop resilience and cultivate a deep sense of self respect? Here are some strategies. Help them identify their strengths and resources. Encourage your children to recognize and celebrate their unique qualities, talents, and abilities. Help them identify the inner and outer resources they can draw on during stress or adversity, such as their creativity, sense of humor, or supportive relationships. Teach them problem solving and coping skills. Help your children develop a toolkit of healthy coping strategies and problem solving skills they can use when faced with challenges or setbacks. This could include deep breathing, mindfulness, journaling, seeking support from others, or breaking big problems down into smaller, manageable steps. Encourage a growth mindset and positive self talk. A growth mindset is key to resilience and self respect. Help your children reframe challenges and setbacks as opportunities for learning and growth, and encourage them to use positive self talk and affirmations to boost their confidence and resilience. Model resilience in your life, share your experiences of bouncing back from challenges or setbacks, and model healthy coping strategies and problem solving skills. Show your children that it's okay to struggle and that resilience is a skill that can be developed and strengthened over time. Create a safe, supportive environment. Foster a home environment where your children feel loved, valued, and supported, no matter what challenges they may face. Encourage open communication and create a safe space to express their feelings and needs without judgment or criticism. Helping our children develop resilience and inner strength equips them with the tools to navigate life's ups and downs with confidence, adaptability, and self respect. We teach them that they have the power within themselves to overcome any obstacle and create a life of meaning, purpose, and joy. Encouraging self expression, the key to authenticity and self respect. Another important aspect of teaching self respect to children is encouraging self expression. Self expression is the ability to communicate our thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and creativity in a way that feels authentic and true to ourselves. When children feel safe and empowered to express themselves freely and authentically, they develop a more profound sense of self awareness, self acceptance, and self respect. They learn to trust their voice and intuition and celebrate their unique qualities and perspectives. Here are some ways we can encourage self expression in our children. Provide diverse opportunities for creative expression. Offer your children a variety of creative outlets, such as art, music, dance, writing, or drama. Encourage them to experiment with different mediums and styles and find what feels most authentic and joyful. Create a judgment free zone. Foster a home environment where your children feel safe to express themselves without fear of judgment, criticism, or ridicule. Encourage open communication and create a safe space to share their thoughts, feelings, and ideas. Celebrate their unique qualities and perspectives. Help your children identify and celebrate what makes them unique and special. Encourage them to embrace their quirks, interests, and passions and to see them as strengths rather than weaknesses. Model authentic self expression. Share your own creative pursuits and passions with your children and model what it looks like to express yourself authentically and joyfully. Show them that it's okay to be different and march to their drum's beat. Encourage them to use their voice for good. Help your children understand the power of their voice and the impact they can have on the world around them. Encourage them to use their self expression to stand up for what they believe in, to advocate for others, and to make a positive difference in their communities. Promoting positive self image, the foundation of self love and self respect. Finally, one of the most important things we can do to teach self respect to children is to promote a positive self image. Self image is how we see and feel about ourselves, including our physical appearance, abilities, and worth. In a world that often promotes unrealistic beauty standards, comparison, and self doubt, it's more important than ever to help our children develop a healthy, positive self image. When children have a strong sense of self love and self acceptance, they're better equipped to navigate the challenges and pressures of growing up with confidence, resilience, and self respect. Here are some ways we can promote positive self image in our children. Focus on character over appearance. Emphasize the importance of inner qualities such as kindness, empathy, and integrity over physical appearance or material possessions. Help your children understand that their worth is not contingent on how they look or what they own. Encourage self acceptance and body positivity. Help your children develop a healthy relationship with their bodies and appearance. Encourage them to focus on self care, health, and functionality over aesthetics and celebrate the diversity of body types and appearances. Challenge media messages and stereotypes. Help your children critically analyze the messages and images they see in media and advertising. Challenge stereotypes and unrealistic beauty standards. Encourage them to seek out diverse, positive representations of beauty and success. Model self love and self acceptance. Share your own journey of self love and self acceptance with your children and model how to treat yourself with kindness, compassion, and respect. Show them that it's okay to have flaws and imperfections and that true beauty comes from within. Encourage them to surround themselves with positive influences. Help your children cultivate friendships and relationships with people who uplift and support them and celebrate their unique qualities and strengths. Encourage them to seek out positive role models and mentors who embody self love, self respect, and authentic living. Promoting positive self image in our children lays the foundation for a lifetime of self love, self acceptance, and self respect. We teach them to celebrate their unique qualities and strengths, to challenge unrealistic standards and expectations, and to treat themselves with the same kindness and compassion they would extend to a beloved friend. Woo, we've covered a lot of ground in this chapter. From modeling self respect and encouraging a growth mindset to teaching boundaries and developing resilience to encouraging self expression and promoting positive self image. It's a lot to take in. It's about creating a home environment where they feel safe, valued, and supported, no matter their challenges or setbacks. It's about helping them develop the inner strength, resilience, and self awareness they need to navigate a world that will test and challenge them at every turn. Most importantly, it's about empowering them to become the self respect superheroes they were born to be, to stand tall in their truth, celebrate their unique qualities and strengths, and use their voices and gifts to make a positive difference in the world. As parents, caregivers, educators, and role models, we have the incredible opportunity and responsibility to guide the next generation on this journey of self respect and self discovery. It may not always be easy and we may make mistakes along the way, but every small act of love, encouragement, and empowerment we offer our children can shape their lives and futures in profound and lasting ways. Start small, but start today. Model self respect and encourage your children to do the same. Help them develop a growth mindset, set and enforce healthy boundaries, and cultivate resilience in the face of challenges and setbacks. Encourage them to express themselves authentically and creatively and to develop a positive self image based on their inner qualities and strengths. Above all, love them fiercely and unconditionally and remind them daily that they are worthy, valuable, and capable of creating a life of meaning, purpose, and joy. Practical tips and takeaways. Before we wrap up this chapter, let's review some practical tips and takeaways for teaching self respect to children. Model self respect in your own life, including self compassion, healthy boundary setting, self care, and pursuing your passions and purpose. Encourage a growth mindset by praising effort and progress, reframing mistakes as opportunities for growth, encouraging risk taking, and modeling a growth mindset yourself. Teach healthy boundaries by helping children identify their needs and values, communicate assertively, and say no when necessary. Model healthy boundary setting in your own relationships. Develop resilience by helping children identify their strengths and resources, teaching problem solving and coping skills, encouraging positive self talk, modeling resilience, and creating a safe, supportive environment. Encourage self expression by providing diverse opportunities for creative expression, creating a judgment free zone, celebrating their unique qualities and perspectives, modeling authentic self expression, and encouraging them to use their voice for good. Promote positive self image by focusing on character over appearance, encouraging self acceptance and body positivity, challenging media messages and stereotypes, modeling self love and self acceptance, and encouraging positive influences and relationships. Remember, you are your children's best resource for developing self respect. By showing up as your best, most authentic self and offering your love, guidance, and support, you give them an incredible gift that will last a lifetime. So here's to raising a generation of self respect superheroes, one child at a time. You've got this, and I'm cheering you on every step of the way. Chapter 7: The Ripple Effect of Self Respect. Welcome to the final chapter of our self respect journey, where we'll explore the far reaching impact of cultivating this essential virtue. Self respect isn't just about feeling good about ourselves, it's about creating a positive ripple effect that touches every aspect of our lives and the lives of those around us. When we have a strong foundation of self respect, we show up in the world as our best, most authentic selves. We lead with integrity, treat others with kindness and compassion, and inspire others to do the same. We become a force for positive change in our families, communities, and the world. In this chapter, we'll explore the many ways that self respect ripples out to create a better world for all of us. From cultivating empathy and respect for others to leading with integrity and compassion to building thriving communities and driving positive social change, the impact of self respect is truly limitless. Empathy and self respect, the dynamic duo of connection. First, let's discuss the powerful link between self respect and empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share another person's feelings, to put ourselves in their shoes, and to see the world through their eyes. When we have strong self respect, we can better cultivate empathy for others. We're more likely to treat others with the same kindness, compassion, and understanding that we extend to ourselves. We're more attuned to the needs and feelings of those around us and more willing to offer support and understanding. On the flip side, when we lack self respect, we may struggle to connect with others on a deep, empathetic level. We may be more prone to judgment, criticism, or dismissiveness, seeing others' struggles or perspectives as a reflection of our inadequacy or insecurity. Cultivating empathy through self respect is essential for building strong, healthy relationships and communities. When we can put ourselves in others' shoes and respond with compassion and understanding, we create a ripple effect of connection and support that touches everyone around us. Here are some tips for cultivating empathy through self respect. Practice self compassion. Treat yourself with the kindness and understanding you would extend to a dear friend. When you offer yourself compassion and grace, you're better able to extend that same empathy to others. Listen actively and non judgmentally. When someone shares their thoughts or feelings with you, give them your full, undivided attention. Listen with an open mind and heart, without judgment or interruption. Seek to understand their perspective, even if it differs from your own. Seek out diverse perspectives. Make an effort to connect with people from different backgrounds, cultures, and life experiences. Read books, watch films, and engage in conversations that broaden your understanding of the world and the people in it. The more you can step outside your bubble and see the world through others' eyes, the more empathetic you'll become. Practice gratitude and appreciation. Make a habit of expressing gratitude and appreciation for the people in your life. Let them know how much you value their presence, contributions, and unique qualities. When you see and appreciate the best in others, you're more likely to respond with empathy and compassion. Respect for others, the cornerstone of healthy relationships. Another fundamental way self respect ripples out to create a better world is through respect for others. When we have a strong foundation of self respect, we're better able to treat others with the same dignity, kindness, and consideration that we extend to ourselves. Respect for others is the cornerstone of healthy relationships with family, friends, colleagues, or community members. It's about recognizing every person's inherent worth and value, regardless of their background, beliefs, or life experiences. It's about treating others with kindness, compassion, and empathy, even when we disagree or face challenges. When we lack self respect, we may struggle to show respect for others. We may be more prone to judgment, criticism, or dismissiveness, seeing others as a threat to our sense of worth or security. We may engage in harmful behaviors like gossip, bullying, or discrimination, seeking to tear others down in order to build ourselves up. Cultivating respect for others through self respect is essential for building a world where everyone feels valued, included, and supported. When we're able to see the best in others and treat them with dignity and compassion, we create a ripple effect of kindness and connection that touches everyone around us. Here are some tips for cultivating respect for others through self-respect. Practice active listening. When someone is speaking to you, give them your full attention and focus. Listen to understand, not just to respond. Ask clarifying questions and seek to understand their perspective, even if it differs from yours. Use I statements when expressing your thoughts or feelings. Use I statements rather than you statements. For example, instead of saying, "You always interrupt me," try, "I feel frustrated when I'm interrupted." This helps to avoid blame or accusation and promotes respectful communication. Avoid gossip and negative talk. Make a commitment to avoid gossiping or speaking negatively about others, even when they're not present. Instead, focus on building others up and highlighting their strengths and contributions. Modeling respect and positivity inspires others to do the same. Celebrate diversity. Embrace and celebrate the diversity of people, cultures, and perspectives in your community and the world. Seek opportunities to learn from and connect with people different from you. When we see the beauty and value in our differences, we create a world of greater understanding, empathy, and respect. Integrity and ethics, the foundation of a just society. Another fundamental way that self-respect ripples out to create a better world is through integrity and ethics. When we have a strong foundation of self-respect, we can live our lives with honesty, authenticity, and moral courage. Integrity is about being true to ourselves and our values, even when difficult or unpopular. It's about making choices that align with our deepest beliefs and principles rather than simply going along with what's easy or expected. It's about standing up for our beliefs, even when we face resistance or backlash. Ethics, on the other hand, is about making choices that are morally right and just, even when they are not in our immediate self-interest. It's about considering the impact of our actions on others and the world around us and striving to do what's best for the greater good. It's about treating others with fairness, respect, and compassion and working to create a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. We may struggle to live with integrity and ethics when we lack self-respect. We may be more prone to compromise our values or principles to fit in or get ahead. We may engage in unethical behaviors like lying, cheating, or stealing, seeking to benefit ourselves at the expense of others. Cultivating integrity and ethics through self-respect is essential for building a just and equitable society. When we live our lives with honesty, authenticity, and moral courage, we create a ripple effect of positive change that touches everyone around us. Here are some tips for cultivating integrity and ethics through self-respect. You know your values, reflect on your core values and beliefs. What principles guide your life and your choices? What do you stand for and why? When you're clear on your values, you can better make choices that align with them. Practice honesty. Commit to honesty in all your interactions and relationships. Avoid lying, cheating, or deceiving others, even when tempting or convenient. Model honesty and transparency to inspire others to do the same. Stand up for what's right. When you witness injustice or unethical behavior, don't be afraid to speak up and take a stand. Use your voice and influence to advocate for what's right, even when difficult or unpopular. When we can stand up for our values and our beliefs, we create a world of greater integrity and justice. Consider the greater good. When making choices or taking action, consider the impact on others and the world around you. Strive to do what's best for the greater good, even when it's not in your immediate self-interest. When we can look beyond ourselves and consider the needs of others, we create a world of greater compassion and equity. Compassion and kindness, the heart of a thriving community. Another powerful way that self-respect ripples out to create a better world is through compassion and kindness. When we have a strong foundation of self-respect, we can treat ourselves and others with gentleness, care, and concern. Compassion is empathizing with and caring for others suffering or struggling. It's about recognizing our common humanity and responding with kindness and support when others are in need. It's about seeing beyond our differences and treating everyone with dignity and respect, regardless of their background or circumstances. Kindness, on the other hand, is about actively seeking to make a positive difference in the lives of others. It's about going out of our way to offer support, encouragement, and generosity, even when unexpected or required. It's about treating others with warmth, friendliness, and care and creating a world where everyone feels valued and included. When we lack self-respect, we may struggle to show compassion and kindness to ourselves and others. We may be more prone to judgment, criticism, or indifference, seeing others' struggles as a reflection of their weakness or failure. We may be less likely to offer support or assistance, believing everyone should fend for themselves. Cultivating compassion and kindness through self-respect is essential for building a thriving, interconnected community. When we treat ourselves and others with gentleness and care, we create a ripple effect of positive energy that touches everyone around us. Here are some tips for cultivating compassion and kindness through self-respect. Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the kindness and understanding you would extend to a dear friend. When you're struggling or feeling down, offer yourself words of comfort and support. Remember that everyone makes mistakes and faces challenges, and that's okay. Look for opportunities to help. Look for ways to make a positive difference in the lives of others, whether through small acts of kindness or larger acts of service. Offer a listening ear, a helping hand, or a word of encouragement whenever you can. When we give of ourselves generously, we create a world of greater compassion and connection. Practice forgiveness when others make mistakes or let us down. Practice forgiveness and understanding. Remember that everyone is human and that we all have our own struggles and challenges. When we let go of anger and resentment, we create space for healing and growth. Cultivate gratitude. Make a habit of noticing and appreciating the good in yourself, others, and the world around you. Express gratitude and appreciation whenever you can and look for ways to pay it forward. When we focus on the positive and cultivate a sense of abundance, we create a world of greater joy and connection. Leadership and responsibility. The call to serve. Another critical way self-respect ripples out to create a better world is through leadership and responsibility. When we have a strong foundation of self-respect, we're better able to step up and take responsibility for making a positive difference in the world around us. Leadership isn't just about having a fancy title or position of power. It's about having the courage and conviction to stand up for what we believe in, even when it's difficult or unpopular. It's about taking risks and making tough choices for the greater good. It's about inspiring others to be their best selves and work together towards a common goal. Responsibility, on the other hand, is about recognizing that our choices and actions impact the world around us and taking ownership of that impact. It's about being accountable for our mistakes and failures and learning from them to do better. It's about using our talents, resources, and influence to make a positive difference, even when it's not easy or convenient. When we lack self-respect, we may struggle to step up and take responsibility for our lives and our impact on the world. We may be more prone to blame others or make excuses rather than taking ownership of our choices and their consequences. We may be less likely to speak up or take action when we see injustice or inequity, believing it's someone else's problem to solve. Cultivating leadership and responsibility through self-respect is essential for building a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. When we can step up and take ownership of our lives and impact, we create a ripple effect of positive change that touches everyone around us. Here are some tips for cultivating leadership and responsibility through self-respect. Clarify your vision and values. Reflect on what you want to create in the world and what principles and values will guide you in that pursuit. When you're clear on your vision and values, you're better able to make choices and take action in alignment with them. Embrace discomfort. Leadership and responsibility often require stepping outside our comfort zones and taking risks. Embrace the discomfort and uncertainty that comes with growth and change, knowing that it's a sign that you're making progress and having an impact. Take ownership when things go wrong or don't turn out as planned. Resist the urge to blame others or make excuses. Instead, take ownership of your choices and their consequences and look for ways to learn and grow from the experience. We create space for healing and transformation when we own our mistakes and failures. Empower others. Leadership isn't about doing everything yourself, but about empowering and inspiring others to be their best selves and work together towards a common goal. Look for ways to support and encourage others in their own leadership and growth and create a culture of collaboration and shared responsibility. By cultivating leadership and responsibility through self-respect, we create a world where everyone can step up and make a positive difference. We build communities and organizations based on shared vision, values, and accountability and inspire others to do the same. Thriving communities, the legacy of self-respect. When we cultivate self-respect and its many ripple effects, empathy, respect for others, integrity, compassion, leadership, and more, we create the conditions for thriving communities to emerge. Thriving communities are places where everyone feels valued, included, and supported and work together towards a shared vision of a better world. In thriving communities, diversity is celebrated and differences are seen as a source of strength and creativity. People from all backgrounds and walks of life are welcomed and included, Everyone has a voice and a seat at the table. Relationships are based on trust, respect, and mutual care, and conflicts are resolved through open and honest communication. In thriving communities, resources are shared equitably, and everyone can access the support and opportunities they need to reach their full potential. Education, healthcare, housing, and other basic needs are seen as human rights, not privileges, and everyone works together to ensure that no one is left behind. The environment is protected and respected in thriving communities, and people live in harmony with the natural world. Sustainability and stewardship are prioritized, and everyone takes responsibility for preserving the planet for future generations. We struggle to create thriving communities when we lack self respect and its ripple effects. Instead, we may see communities plagued by division, inequality, and conflict, where some people are marginalized and excluded while others hoard resources and power. We may see communities where the environment is exploited and degraded, and where short term gains are prioritized over long term sustainability. Cultivating self respect and its ripple effects is essential for building thriving communities that work for everyone. When we see the inherent worth and value in ourselves and others and work together towards a shared vision of a better world, we create a legacy of positive change that will endure for generations to come. Here are some tips for cultivating thriving communities through self respect. Build relationships, build solid and authentic relationships based on trust, respect, and mutual care. Take time to listen to others' stories and perspectives and look for ways to support and encourage one another in your shared vision and values. Celebrate diversity. Embrace and celebrate the diversity of your community's people, cultures, and perspectives. Look for ways to create inclusive spaces where everyone feels welcomed and valued and where differences are seen as a source of strength and creativity. Prioritize equity. Work to ensure everyone in your community has access to the resources and opportunities needed to thrive. Advocate for policies and practices that promote fairness, justice, and shared prosperity, and be willing to challenge systems and structures that perpetuate inequality. Foster sustainability, take responsibility for preserving and protecting the natural world for future generations. Look for ways to live harmoniously with the environment and prioritize sustainability and stewardship in your personal and collective actions. By cultivating thriving communities through self respect, we create a world where everyone can reach their full potential and contribute to a shared vision of a better future. We build a legacy of positive change that will endure long after we're gone and inspire others to do the same. Positive social change, the power of self respect in action. Finally, when we cultivate self respect and its many ripple effects, we create the conditions for positive social change to emerge. Positive social change transforms the systems, structures, and beliefs that perpetuate inequality, injustice, and harm and creates a world where everyone can thrive. In a world of positive social change, every person is seen as inherently worthy and valuable, regardless of their background or circumstances. Everyone has access to the resources and opportunities they need to reach their full potential, and no one is left behind or marginalized. In a world of positive social change, power is shared equitably, and decisions are made through inclusive, participatory processes. Everyone has a voice and a seat at the table. Diversity is a source of strength and creativity. In a world of positive social change, the economy works for everyone, not just a privileged few. Wealth and resources are distributed fairly. Everyone can access meaningful work and a living wage. The environment is protected and respected, and sustainability is prioritized over short term gains. We struggle to create positive social change when we lack self respect and its ripple effects. Instead, we may see a world plagued by inequality, injustice, and exploitation, where some people are valued more than others and where the needs of the many are sacrificed for the benefit of the few. We may see a world where the environment is degraded and destroyed, and future generations are left to bear the consequences of our short sightedness. Cultivating self respect and its ripple effects is essential for creating positive social change that benefits everyone. When we see the inherent worth and value in ourselves and others and work together towards a shared vision of a better world, we create a powerful force for transformation that can move mountains. Here are some tips for cultivating positive social change through self respect. Educate yourself, learn about the systems, structures, and beliefs perpetuating inequality and harm in our world. Seek out diverse perspectives and voices and look for ways to challenge your assumptions and biases. Speak up, use your voice and platform to advocate for justice, equity, and compassion. And don't be afraid to speak out against injustice or stand up for what you believe in, even when it's difficult or unpopular. Take action. Look for ways to get involved in your community and beyond, whether it's through volunteering, activism, or supporting causes and organizations that align with your values. Remember that every action can make a difference, no matter how small. Build coalitions. Recognize that creating positive social change requires collaboration and partnership across differences. Look for ways to build bridges and coalitions with others who share your vision and values, and be willing to listen, learn, and grow together. By cultivating positive social change through self respect, we create a world where everyone can thrive and contribute to a shared vision of a better future. We become part of a powerful movement for transformation that will continue long after we're gone and inspire others to join us in this vital work. Conclusion: the call to self respect. We've covered a lot of ground in this chapter, exploring how self respect ripples out to create a better world for all of us. From cultivating empathy and respect for others to living with integrity and compassion to taking responsibility and working for positive social change, self respect's impact is limitless. But here's the thing: cultivating self respect and its many ripple effects can be challenging. It requires a willingness to look within, to challenge our assumptions and biases, and to take responsibility for our choices and actions. It requires a commitment to growth, learning, and transformation, even when uncomfortable or difficult. Yet the rewards of this work are immeasurable. When we cultivate self respect and its ripple effects, we not only create a better world for ourselves, but also for everyone around us. We become a force for positive change, inspiring others to join us in this vital work of healing, growth, and transformation. So, my dear reader, I invite you to take up the call to self respect. Commit yourself to this lifelong journey of cultivating empathy, respect, integrity, compassion, leadership, responsibility, and positive social change. To see yourself and others as inherently worthy and valuable, and to work together towards a shared vision of a better world. Remember, every small act of self respect and kindness matters. Every choice we make and every action we take can create a ripple effect of positive change that touches everyone and everything around us. So let us go forth with courage, compassion, and conviction, knowing that we have the power to transform ourselves and our world through the power of self respect. Let us build thriving communities and a just society, one person and one action at a time. The journey begins with us, and it starts now. Are you ready to answer the call? Before we close this chapter and this book, I want to leave you with a few final thoughts and reflections. Self respect is a practice, not a destination. Cultivating self respect and its many ripple effects is a lifelong journey, not a one time event. It requires ongoing commitment, reflection, action, and a willingness to learn and grow. Progress, not perfection, is the goal. We will all stumble and fall on this journey of self respect and positive change. The key is to keep getting back up, learning and growing, and celebrating our progress along the way. We are all interconnected. The ripple effects of our choices and actions extend far beyond ourselves, touching everyone and everything around us. When we cultivate self respect and work for positive change, we create a better world for ourselves and all of us. The power to change lies within us. While the challenges we face can sometimes feel overwhelming, we must remember that we have the power to make a difference. Every small act of self respect, kindness, and positive change matters, and we can move mountains together. We are not alone on this journey. Cultivating self respect and working for positive change can sometimes be difficult and isolating. But remember, countless others share your vision and values and fight alongside you. Seek support, community, and collaboration, and know you are never alone. As we end this book, I want to thank you for joining me on this journey of self respect and positive change. Your presence and commitment to this work mean more than you know, and I am honored to share this space with you. Remember, the journey of self respect and positive change is ongoing and requires all of us to do our part. But together, I believe we can create a world where everyone is seen as inherently worthy and valuable, has the opportunity to thrive and contribute, and works together towards a shared vision of a better future. So let us go forth with courage, compassion, and conviction, knowing that the ripple effects of our choices and actions can transform ourselves and our world. Let us answer the call to self respect and create a legacy of positive change that will endure long after we're gone. The world needs our light, love, and leadership now more than ever. Are you ready to shine?